What up, everybody? Welcome back. Nice beautiful day here at the ranch. Got the Supra up in the air. We're getting ready to start cutting. So kind of what we went over in the last video, we want to put a fuel cell in this thing. So we got to get rid of obviously this spare tire well, get rid of this floor. We have a super cool idea for a bracket. We're going to show you guys that here in a little bit. But the idea for today is mostly just get everything out of the way, like all this cutout taken care of, get a cell mounted at least, or figure out where we're going to mount it. I'd like to have this done by the end of this weekend, but we'll see. We got a lot of the whole bottom of this car is pretty caked in undercoating, so it's gonna be a lot of prep work to say the least, but cutting should be pretty easy. So we're gonna make a plan real quick. I have some reference points that I showed you guys in the last video that I drilled in each corner, and what we're gonna do is just kind of make a few more of them to give ourselves, you know, where to cut. I think we're gonna cut from the top, you said?
Yep.
So that'll basically just give us a clear idea of where the insides of these frame rails are so that we don't accidentally cut too far out. You know, we stay on the inside of those holes, we should be totally fine. But we're gonna drill a couple more of these, pop these out, get to cutting. We'll come over here and let's get to work. So we have our first hole drilled here. I kind of want to put this like more in the corner. I wonder, should I do like right on the inside of this rail?
Keep it on the outside of this.
Is this a seam for a pinch weld?
It is. Actually it's spot welds. You can see them from up top.
Oh, sure.
So in all honesty, what we could do is we could just drill out the spot welds and probably remove this pan. But
yeah,
where's the fun in that?
Yeah, spot welds suck. I don't want to do that. I just want to cut it out.
Yeah, good idea.
Like where we're gonna put anything back in here. So.
Right.
So yeah, there you go. Let's get a couple more holes in. We got one there. So let's what, every 4 inches or so?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Just so we can have a map.
Yeah. Well, let's get it done. Smooth.
Well, I can't.
Well, it'll be fine.
Can't.
Oh. So I can see the seam. If we can see the seam from the top, we might as well just follow it.
Yep.
We got enough holes drilled. And this, the nice thing is, Jake was saying earlier, this is a straight cut, so like this should be pretty easy. We have a pretty straight reference point from there to there. So as long as we follow it, and again, stay on the inside, shouldn't have to worry about cutting into these frame rails.
Yep.
All right. Get this thing put back on the ground real quick. I want to take a look at it from the top. We can draw out some lines with a marker or something. Oh yeah, look at that. Bam, bam, bam. You can see much better here, kind of where this is gonna go. So it's not gonna be all the way to the edge, obviously. It's gonna be just basically this middle part here, and then we'll have structures and supports and stuff flying all over the place.
There's a spot weld right here. Another one right here. I'm trying not to cut into the spot welds at all because there's still like structural rigidity to that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut on the inside of this, like right in here then. And that should be pretty good. I'm gonna mock what I'm doing over here, over there, and then we should be...
We should have our cut lines.
Yeah, we should have our cut lines.
Sweet, looking good.
We're good to cut.
Sweet. It's kind of vague over here, the black line you see, you get into the paint marker. And we're gonna cut from the top, like he said. So, then obviously it's straight here. You've got the same idea here with your spot welds, right around the back. Essentially straight across from point to point. That will get rid of everything, give us all the room to work. And we are gonna end up remaking the floor. So for our shroud, what we're probably gonna end up doing is making a shroud, obviously that covers this area that we're cutting out and then goes around our fuel cell. And then we'll just riv nut around the end of it. I think that's the plan of attack. Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
happy with that. That's super cool. I love that you can't see the spare tire well from the back anymore. I don't know why that bothered me, but it did. Cool. Dude, I want to see how this cell fits now. This is where the fun stuff comes. I've been really excited for this for a while now, so honestly, like, that's right where I wanted it to sit. It'd be cool to have it go back a little bit more, but like, it doesn't really need to. Just throw this thing in the air real quick and take a look at it from the bottom, see how everything fits up that way. Now that the floor's popped out, we kind of come to the planning phase. And we had a really good idea before of how we wanted to do it. Now we have to come to the conclusion how we're going to do it. Because now that we actually have the cell sitting here, obviously we need to figure how we're going to make standoffs, all that kind of stuff. Exactly how we want to structure these braces, however we want to do this. But we're going to throw something together quick and we'll come back at you guys with what we come up with. All right, plan of attack acquired. So we have everything kind of mocked up here. Don't pay too much attention to that.
Yep. Oh, it's still a 1/2 inch, so
that's true.
1.5 inches.
So we have everything mocked up in place. We have our height figured out. We have to imagine this is going to sit about a 1/2 inch higher due to the little rubber insulators that will sit between here and the standoffs we're making. But this is our idea.
We're gonna have a bar run straight across on the inside of the tank, because you got these little standoffs here for mounting it, your mounting brackets. From here, it'll be going up. It's a straight shot up to here. Hi, puppers! Oh. Straight, whatever it's supposed to be, whatever degree angle that is, on both sides. We'll tie it in right here and right there on that side. So then it'll be like solid mounted here. And then from here, I'm gonna run a straight bar out, have another standoff right here to mount this guy. And then this one will be a straight 90 up into the frame.
Yep,
Then,
so our mounting points will essentially be like right around this area.
Yep.
Right around this white dot over here.
Yep.
Come down, across, behind this tab so we can have a standoff here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty easy.
Yep. And you're gonna be able to see just a smidgen of your sump.
Yeah, it would be cool. And we can't go across, obviously, because of the sump. I mean, we could maybe do like a, but that's not really necessary. This isn't going to hold, it's a 10-gallon cell. It's not going to hold that much weight. And I mean, we'll have 4 mounting points. We should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm happy with that. So I think, like Jake said, he wanted to start back here. So we're going to go ahead and move all this crap, mark where this needs to sit, and then we're going to go ahead and make this rear brace first, and then we'll take it rearward from there.
Mm-hmm.
First step, really, of any project like this, prep your surfaces. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a knotted wire wheel to right where this dot is, do the same thing over in this area, and then right where this dot is, and the same thing over in this area. Needs to be cleaned off all the way down to bare metal so we can lay a nice weld on there and make sure everything's clean. And then once we have those cleared off, we can move everything and just go ahead and hit this all along in here before we get anything actually put in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was a lot of fun. It's disgusting under here now, so we'll try to blow all this out. But got these all sanded down. I'm gonna try to hit them with like some acetone or something to try to get whatever residue is on them off. And then potentially go over them with like an actual sander instead of just that knot wheel. But yeah, this is not fun to do. And once you're done prepping your surfaces, you kind of start prepping up some material per se. So we need to make ourselves some standoffs. These will work just fine. We're gonna take this square stock and basically just do a 45 cut, a straight, 45 straight, make a couple of these. We decided we're gonna remake with a little bit of a perch on the bottom so we have something to weld on. Maybe just give it a little bit more strength, but having these angled parts down here will help it hold a little bit more weight so it's not just a tab hanging off the side of the bar. Kind of see what we had in mind here for these now that all these standoffs are finished.
Something like that.
And then this bolt will just, I guess, get ran straight through here.
Well, I'm gonna cut it like that, and then we can bolt it down like that. So.
Oh, cool. So it'll just have like a...
Yeah.
Nice.
45.
And then a 45 out from here.
Or wherever, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. I dig it. So it's probably gonna move this table quick, get it into a more weld conducive area, and take it from there.
And 7/8. Yeah, that'll be fine. This is good to send.
Sweet. Let's send her home. Nice.
That right there shows you that I TIG a lot more than I MIG.
Yeah.
Because I clearly forgot what I was doing.
Hey man, grinder and paint make it the welder I ain't.
Exactly. I mean, it's gonna get paint, so otherwise it'll rust.
Awesome. Super happy. We got our little rubber insulators in there. Man. Awesome. So we're gonna probably place this back in the car real quick with the trans jack to see where everything lines up.
Yep.
And then design our little legs to go to the chassis. Shoot, we'll almost be ready to put some gas in this thing. Ain't got no gas in it.
It definitely doesn't.
About there, you think? How awesome that looks from the back too. Sweet. Should we maybe go up just a wee bit with it?
Well, right there, it's gonna be about perfectly level with that sway bar.
And that's fine.
Perfect, like.
And that's fine, to be honest. I feel like that's probably our best bet, is not to drop it too low. Because I don't want to, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably about good. I'm satisfied with that. Sweet. At this point, I'm just going to move out of the way and let Jake do his thing real quick. He's the fabricator, so I'm going to listen to him for the structural advice. And then when we actually get to welding things up, I'm just the guy that holds things. So I'm so glad I didn't start recording until after that.
Oh, I cut too much off. Okay.
Well, that's fine. There's this wonderful thing called gap welding.
Or we just turn it back. If I wanted to sit down and figure out just what angle it's supposed to be, I probably could mathematically. So we're not.
They make tools for that.
Tool that we don't don't have. Well, I've got it.
Not here.
It's all up here.
It's all up here.
Oh.
Sine, cosine, tangent, all that nonsense. No.
Well, I guess if it's an equilateral triangle, hey, it's 45 degrees. So there you go.
Equilateral triangle is 60 degrees on all
60?
quarters.
It is. Because I can do my math in my head.
It's a right triangle. It's the only one that works.
So we went ahead and we tacked one side in to kind of make this easier to show. Here's the plan. So we got one to this frame rail. Bam. And then obviously you can envision the back. Very similar to how we're doing it up here.
Honestly, I like that.
Looks like this back one's gonna be the one that's got some tricky cuts. Seems simple, right? Like connect here to here, but like that cut angle is kind of odd. And they're definitely not the same. Like these frame rails aren't the same on both sides. I think you found that out pretty quick.
Well, if you look here, it's straight. And a nice gradual bend right here. And straight. Where this thing is just a fat radius, not straight.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Obviously these ones are easy, but
further over, I think. But...
So this is what we ended up coming up with. These were some tricky angles to try to cut out. We went through
enough.
A few of them trying to get these angles perfect, but honestly, it's really good. Obviously being held up by its own weight, so now we actually get to go through and weld everything up. I'm gonna get a couple passes in. I wanna do a couple welds. Jake's gonna do the majority of them because he knows what he's doing. But I think I could do a couple of them. I've been practicing my MIG, so I'm happy. It looks really cool and give me a super nice spot to mount my filter and my pump, all that good stuff. So time to get everything welded up, and then we can move on.
Yeah,
super happy. We do got to take the tank out though, because we don't want to fry these bushings. Time to give this a go. Do I want to pull or push this one?
we're just doing vertical down.
So start top, but move,
Yeah,
move down?
but when you start it right, when you drag it, push a lot more heat into here because it's going to be a lot thicker than this.
Okay, so I'm more towards aiming towards the frame than anything.
Yeah, and then you can just kind of wash it back and forth.
Okay. That's bad. That one pretty bad.
It'll be fine.
Oh, mama. That's so cool. Man. So this is the finished product. We have all the legs welded in. Everything all welded all around. And needless to say, she's nice and sturdy in there. I'll pull the car off of this lift before that comes out. It ended up to be at the perfect level too, like right where I wanted it. Bottom of the cell to be right, you know, parallel at the top of the subframe in the rear. And the nice part is this bracket that we came up with that holds the bottom of this cell will make a really good spot to like mount the first filter, then my fuel pump back here, and then my second filter will just go where the factory filter there went. But man, I am absolutely stoked. And I'm also absolutely beat. So that's probably gonna be the end of this video. Next time we will get lines made up, as well as pull that rear subframe to do the plate kit, and then we can put the drive shaft back in. Once we have the lines plumbed, we'll be pretty dang close to dyno day. So, but as always, if you liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.